All right, on to part two of the New Beverage Showdown final round. We're going to kick things off with three co-founders, George Yeomans, that is, Evan Quinn, and Signe Cooper, who are the co-founders of Hiyo. Come on up to the stage. Hello, hello. Yep, there's your... Please just keep an eye on your time. Cool.
Hello, everyone. I'm Signe.
And I'm George.
And I'm Evan, and we're the founders of Hiyo, a mood-boosting, stress-relieving social tonic crafted with organic adaptogens, natural nootropics, and functional botanicals.
Now, despite Hiyo's uber-positive, Southern California, happy in your own vibe, this concept was born out of, frankly, the worst moment in mine and Evan's lives. Back in April 2019, we both had family members that were hospitalized with alcohol-related issues. And this coincidental kind of traumatic experience caused us to cut back our drinking. And as we did that, we saw the profound need for a non-alcoholic option that actually deserved its place at the table. Something that was better than the boring soda water and lime or sugary mocktails or even the non-alcoholic beer that lacked the main reason that you actually drink a beer, the feeling. So we thought that there had to be a better way to get a similar stress-relieving, mood-boosting feeling that people usually seek from alcohol, but instead from healthy, functional ingredients.
So, say hello to Hiyo. We're a better-than-alcohol alternative that's changing the way the world drinks. But in order to make a societal change, that new alternative has to be better than the status quo. And we believe we're making it a bit easier to make that change. Hiyo is non-GMO, gluten-free, vegan, and soon to be USDA organic certified. Each can has just 25 calories and no alcohol whatsoever. And while I would argue that our unique branding is a beautiful homage to the Southern California coast, it allows our cans to seamlessly blend in with their alcoholic counterparts, which allows you the opportunity to avoid the question of, why aren't you drinking tonight? And as for our flavors, we didn't want to make a mock anything. So we crafted refreshing fruit blends like peach mango, blackberry lemon, and watermelon lime to appease everyone from Abbot Kinney Boulevard to a Kansas City Costco. And lastly, we didn't want drinking Hiyo to be an experience that breaks the bank. So each can will run you just $3.99 in retail and $3.75 on our online store, which we think is pretty damn good considering all of the premium ingredients that we packed in there.
So each can of Hiyo has over 1.5 grams of a potent functional blend that combines to produce a delightful sensation that we like to call the float. We incorporated organic adaptogens like ashwagandha and cordyceps, natural nootropics like lion's mane and L-theanine, and functional botanicals like ginger and turmeric to create the ideal social mood. Now, some people say it relaxes them into the couch, while others want to get up and dance. So honestly, it's just a feeling that you're going to have to try for yourself. Now look, we get it. Alcohol is fun. And in the moment, it's incredibly rewarding because you feel a little bit loose, a little bit silly. But hey, I'm about to turn 30 years old, and these hangovers are turning absolutely brutal. And the float is a no-sacrifice, guilt-free way to unwind that is needed in all of our lives. And it turns out we weren't alone.
The low and no alcohol sector is poised to become a $30 billion market by 2025. And having been in business for just 6 months, we're constantly finding ourselves in a sprint to keep up with demand from people who are rethinking their relationship with alcohol. Take Peyton, for example, who likes to have Hiyo in the social setting so that she doesn't have to have an empty hand. Or Ben, who claims that Hiyo aligns with his health and consciousness goals, and he enjoys the float, or subtle euphoric body high, as he likes to call it. And Greg, or any other of our 100+ 5-star reviews, who loves our flavors and is grateful that Hiyo's filling a long-standing gap in the beverage game.
And this is primarily why we focused on direct-to-consumer to start. Wanting to get a tight feedback loop so we could understand who our customers are, why they like us, and how we can continue to improve to show up better for them. And yesterday, one of the judges challenged us with the question, why is your product something that the world cannot live without? This response from one of our customers is our response to that. Whether it's a life or death situation, or you're just looking for something to hold in your hand. Hiyo is an immediate and profound need in the market right now.
So you can find Hiyo on our website, aka our 24/7 grocery store, or in Los Angeles in local hotspots like Erewhon, Rainbow Acres, and Winston House. And in early 2022, we plan to expand our retail footprint in New York City, Chicago, and Texas, growing our family of health-seeking hedonists that are passionate about spreading the good word. Which brings me to this quote that guides us here at Hiyo that Margaret Mead once said. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. We're Hiyo, and we're changing the way the world drinks. Cheers.
Excellent. Come on up to the stage. You can, I guess, huddle around the X there. John, I think we saw this product, we first introduced this product at Erewhon. Interesting backstory, interesting presentation. Is it all aligned with what you're seeing on the front of the pack and inside the can?
I mean, it's a cool looking brand. I mean, it looks like on trend. It tastes on trend. You've got, great ingredients in there. For me, I didn't see it as like an alcohol replacement. And, it's interesting. I mean, you have a similar sort of situation that a lot of, brands that are trying to do this have, which is it tastes like a pretty good, like low calorie carbonated soft drink that you could tell me, hey, drink one every day, right? And instead, we're focused on this more, limited use occasion and a smaller niche market. And I think if you're going to go after that, the big thing that's sort of missing for me in flavor is bitter, something to slow me down. Because, I mean, honestly, drinking that stuff cold, I just bought it out of Erewhon, randomly, and it's, it's kind of crushable. So, and I don't really think of that as like the same use occasion, So it's challenging, but you've got a lot of nice stuff. The liquid's good, so congrats.
Yeah. Ken, what do you think of the potential for? I'm sorry, did you want to say? Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying thank you.
Oh, okay. Ken, what do you think of the potential for a brand like this and the way it's positioned?
I like a lot of the stuff here. I completely agree with John's statement about adding some more complexity, i.e. bitters, to make the drink last longer in that on-premise environment. I also have, the road behind you has a bunch of cautionary tales about things that are half sugar and half fake sugar or non-nutritive sweeteners. You have the opportunity to alienate both crowds, but 25 calories is a good execution. The other thing, I guess, if not bitters, just some degree of higher complexity in the flavors.
And Eric, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Now that two people have said it, I'm happy to address why we went with the flavor profiles we did. So like many other brands in our category, they try to be a mock something, right? Like a non-alcoholic Moscow Mule. And we really wanted the flavor profiles to be accessible to all, but still differentiated in and of themselves so everyone can find a favorite. And so to make it as easy a choice to pick this healthier way to unwind, having very fruit-forward, accessible flavors was really key to us. Now down the line with future product extensions, we could explore a ginger or some sort of spicy flavor, but I don't think we'll ever go down the lane that is like a mock, Jack Daniels and Coke or something.
One other thing really quickly, if you're using turmeric, you should be using activated black pepper to activate the turmeric, and that's not on the panel. So.
Eric, there's a lot going on in terms of the presentation and the brand as a whole. In terms of consumer education, what are your thoughts? Is it going to be a challenging time, or do they have a good foundation for that type of strategy?
Yeah, no, I think I applaud you guys. I think a lot of the panel said, I think you've got a lot working for you here. I really admire the packaging. I think it does call to your heritage. Also, I think, as you mentioned, it does actually make sense in the occasion you're trying to solve for, the consumer problem you're trying to solve for. I think it fits there. I also really, really admire how you've got the functional ingredients, the branding of the float, I think is really, really smart, because if the consumer's looking for those ingredients, it's there, but you're not necessarily carving off a niche of population that may not be understanding what all those things are doing. So I think one of the things you should think about as you chart the next stages of your brand's existence is kind of really, really honing in on what is that occasion you really want to go for. Because I think you have the makings of a strong, sober, curious brand. I love the mantra of not making anything mock. I think that's really powerful. But to the other comment, I think you also have a product that could scale beyond sober, curious and be in a lot of different occasions as well.
And Maxie, the brand Hiyo, the color scheme, that wrap label, did it resonate with you?
Definitely. First of all, I want to say everything is very well done. You worked really well as a team presenting. Clearly, I think you work well as a team probably. Some of the best packaging I've seen. I think it's beautiful design, so clean, which is so hard to do when you have to incorporate so much onto a label. Kind of echoing what we're hearing is, I think don't limit your opportunity. I think this is an every all day long drink. It kind of reminds me of original kombucha, like non-alcoholic kombucha, where it could be the after dinner dessert drink, but kombucha is, people drink it all day long every day, and I wouldn't limit. The float is an incredible marketing concept, and it's this natural high that you're offering to people with health benefits, which is so important these days to mix into your beverage and foods, the functional. But yeah, I understand you're doing a non-alcoholic substitute, but I think you have a bigger market opportunity because it was delicious. It's just a delicious beverage.
Unfortunately, we're out of time. I'm so sorry, but thank you so much. Great feedback, great presentation. Okay.